You remember the story I told you about how I wasn't tithing? I had a standoff a little bit with my wife because she found out I wasn't tithing somehow. There's the difference between tithing and generosity. They're not the same thing. So it's not that we weren't being generous. I didn't have a system for it. And this was for a period of 8 months. I've tithed my whole life, but whatever. And so she was like, I think you need to tithe. And I was like, no, when God takes me back to where he promised me, then I'll do that. Anyways, this buddy of mine who's at the time the hardcore atheist, he calls me the next morning and he said, hey, do you tithe? I was like, how do you know what tithing is? He's, I don't know, it's like giving money to churches and stuff. And I was like, I do, but right now I'm not, because I'm wrestling through some things with God. I'm like, he doesn't even believe in God, so I feel like a crazy person. And we talked about it. And he goes, I really feel like God wants you to tithe. I said, bro, you're an atheist. What do you mean God wants me to tithe? He's like, I don't know. I'm not actually sure. And I said, okay, I'll do it. Remember how many times I've said the words of God can come through the mouth of an atheist, a Hindu, whoever. God wants to get your attention, he will get your attention. So anyways, I was like, okay, message received, I'll do it. So I started doing it. He starts going to church and is getting saved. I don't know if he's prayed the ABCs, of salvation or not, but he's talking to God. So I assume that he's developing a relationship.